Welcome to lesson 2.2. In this lesson, we'll be discussing the first of the four primary criteria on how to find hot selling product opportunities on Amazon.com. And this first primary criteria is demand. This is the most important criteria of all. Okay, and there are three components to this first primary criteria. Those three components are: number one, selling. How well is the product selling on Amazon? Number two, how many people are searching for it? And number three, is it trending upward or is it trending downward? Or, is it consistent throughout the year in terms of the sales, or does it peak and drop at certain times of the year? Is it a seasonal product? All of that falls under trending. So we're going to look at these three components: selling, searching, and trending, to determine the demand of a product on Amazon.com. So let's get into selling first. To determine how well a product is selling, it's a very simple process. We just look at something known as the BSR of a product, which is also known as the best seller rank. Every product on Amazon.com has this number associated with it. The BSR is simply the rank of a product based on its sales within a specific high-level category, and the lower the BSR number, the better. Okay, so for example, a product that has a BSR of 1500 is better than a product that has a BSR of 3500. Okay, so the lower that number is, the better it is, the better selling it is on Amazon. Another important note here is the statement within a specific high-level category. That's important because there are many high-level categories on Amazon, as we discussed in a previous video. There's beauty, there's cell phone and accessories, there's kitchen and dining, amongst many others. And the BSR is the rank of a product based on its sales in a specific category. So you cannot compare the BSR of a product in beauty, for example, with that of a product, the BSR of a product that is in cell phone and accessories, for example. Each of those categories has their own BSR rank. So it starts from 1 and it goes, all the way into the hundreds of thousands. That's in beauty. That's also in cell phone and accessories. So that's why you have products that have the same BSR, but it's within those specific categories. It's within that specific category that it belongs to. So you cannot compare products across categories. You have to look at the BSR of that product relative and compared to the products in that same category. So we're going to look for products that have BSRs between 1,000 and 5,000. That's our criteria for selling, to see how well a product is selling. We're going to look for products, again, between 1,000 and 5,000 BSR. Why do we have that range? Why is that considered kind of that sweet spot? Because any product that has a BSR under 1,000 is selling very well, but that also means that there's a lot of competition in those product markets. There's so much competition, there's a lot of reviews, there's many sellers of those products, and that's why we're gonna generally avoid anything under 1,000 BSR, because there's just too much competition and we won't be able to compete against those already established brands and products. And on the other hand, we're not going to go above 5,000, because the higher the number of the BSR, the lower units of that product are being sold. So if you go above 5,000, then you're not looking at a lot of sales volume. And of course, we need some sales volume to actually make some money, with this business. So that's why the sweet spot is between 1 and 5,000, where you're not getting into product markets that are extremely competitive, where it's going to be hard to compete and you're not going to be able to get sales that way. And also, we're not going to look at anything above 5,000, because the sales for those products are not good either. So now let's jump into Amazon.com. I'm going to show you two things. Number one, how to find the BSR, where to find the BSR of any product on Amazon.com, and secondly, how we can go about finding products with this specific criteria of the BSR being between 1 and 5,000. Where do we start, and how do we actually start finding products with that BSR? Let's take a look at that together. Okay, so we're going to start on Google.com. What I'd like you to do first is type in Amazon best sellers in the Google search bar, and it should be the first result, Amazon.com best sellers. this is where we're going to start our search process for products that have between 1000 and 5000 BSR. Now what you'll see here is on the left, these are all the high level departments, aka categories on Amazon.com. And as we mentioned in a previous lesson, that we're not going to consider all of these categories, we're only going to consider specific ones that actually apply to this private labeling business. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into any one of these categories. Let's say I wanted to go into kitchen and dining. That's a very popular category. And when I click into this, what it brings up is known as the Amazon bestsellers. What that refers to is the top 100 products within this specific category. So as you can see, it provides the top 100 results within kitchen and dining, which is the category I'm in right now. And if I jump into this first product and I scroll down under the product details header, you'll actually see this row called Amazon bestsellers rank, and you can see the rank is number 1 in kitchen and dining. Okay, so this number is the lowest it can be, which is 1. What that means is that this is the best selling product in all of kitchen and dining. In this category, it's the best selling product. Okay, and similarly for any product, you can go down to the product detail section and you can find the best sellers rank of that product. Okay, so as we said, we're not looking for any products that have under 1000 BSR. And these best sellers, these top 100, are the BSRs of between 1 and 100. So we're not actually going to consider any one of these. So what we'll do now is that we're going to look and we're going to jump into some subcategories. Okay, so as we said, the main level category, the highest level category here is kitchen and dining, but there are so many subcategories under it. So let's go ahead and jump into one of these subcategories. Let's say we go to kitchen utensils and gadgets. Okay, so now we're here in kitchen utensils and gadgets, and now there's no way for us to really determine what the BSR is of any one of these products, because now it's not showing us, between 1 and 100 necessarily of BSR of the rank. Okay, so now we would actually have to go into one of these products and determine, and see what the BSR is. So if we go into this one right here, this can opener, and I scroll down as we did, and I look at this row here, I can see the best seller rank of this product is 12. Okay, so this product is the 12th best selling product in all of kitchen and dining. Now here I want to point out something very important. Generally, you'll see at least 2 lines here. Sometimes you'll even see 3 or 4 lines, and you'll see different numbers on each line. So you'll see a different rank. So here, as you can see, there's the rank of number 12, but there's also on this second line a rank of number 1. When we're looking at the BSR of a product, we do not look at anything other than the first row. Okay, so this first row, which shows us number 12 in kitchen and dining, that's the number we're looking at. Okay, that's what we need to be between 1000 and 5000 to meet our criteria. Here is number 1. You do not look at this because this is simply showing us that it's the best ranked product in this subcategory of can openers. Okay, so under kitchen and dining, there's a subcategory, kitchen utensils and gadgets, and then another subcategory under that is can openers. That's what it's number 1 in, but that's not what we're going to look at when we're talking about BSR. BSR, we only look at this first line. So now let's go back, because this product also doesn't meet our criteria of between 1000 and 5000. Again, this product is ranked number 12, so it's still too low. So what we'll do is we're going to go into another subcategory. Here under kitchen utensils and gadgets, there are many subcategories. Let's jump into salt and pepper. Okay, so now, as you can see, it's kind of, narrowing down. So we're kind of getting to the end. There aren't many subcategories left. What that means is that hopefully we can find certain products that meet our criteria of between 1000 and 5000. So let's take a look at this salt and pepper shaker set. And let's scroll down and let's see what the BSR of this product is. Okay. As you can see here, the BSR of this product is 730 in kitchen and dining. Okay, so this is still a little bit out of our range. Okay, so it's not between 1,000 and 5,000. So I probably wouldn't go into this one just because it's not close enough. If it was maybe 900 or a little bit closer to 1,000, I would probably consider it. But in this case, I'm probably going to stay away from it. So let's go back to this same subcategory and let's jump in even deeper. Let's maybe go into salt mills. Maybe something in that category will have a product that meets our criteria. And let's take a look at this. This looks very interesting. So this is Mediterranean sea salt crystals. A very interesting product, very obscure. Let's scroll down and let's see what the rank is. So this product is ranked 19,000 in kitchen and dining. Okay, it's around 19,000. Obviously, that's too high. This product is not selling very well. It's not between 1 and 5,000, so we're not going to consider this either. So let's go back and let's maybe scroll up and see if any one of these other ones meets our criteria. Okay, let's take a look at this, a salt grinder. Let's scroll down to the product details and let's see. Okay, so this is 4847 in kitchen and dining. It just barely meets our condition, our criteria of being between 1 and 5,000. So that's a good thing. Okay, so now that we've found one product that meets our criteria of being between 1 and 5,000 BSR, what we do now is we scroll back up and we look at the title of this product that we found that meets that criteria. We look at the title and we try to identify what the main keyword is of this product. What that basically means is that what would a person search on Amazon to be able to find this product? Okay, so obviously it wouldn't be OXO because that's a brand. Good Grips is kind of a feature. Obviously, in this case, the title is so short, we can easily identify the main keyword as being salt grinder. So what we do is we copy that main keyword phrase, salt grinder. We go up to the search bar, we make sure that we're searching in all departments, and we paste salt grinder, and we click enter, or we click search. And now we see that several products show up. Okay, so step one, again, was finding a product that has between 1,000 and 5,000 BSR, which we did. Okay, the first couple were not within our range. Some were lower than 1,000, some were higher than 5,000, but we finally found one that was around 4,900. And so we took step two is to find the main keyword of that product and search it in the Amazon search bar in all departments. And now the third step after searching that main keyword is to take a look at the top 5 listings that show up and see if those products also, if at least 3 of the top 5 meet that same criteria of having a BSR of between 1 and 5,000. One important thing to note here is that sometimes you'll see sponsored ads. So these first 2 results are not legitimate organic search results. They are sponsored ads, meaning that someone's paying for paying Amazon to actually have their product show up. So if you see a sponsored product or you see the sponsored label on one of the search results, ignore that. We're not going to consider that as one of our top 5 search results. So let's scroll down and we start from here. Okay, so I'm going to open these up in a new tab. Again, I'm going to open up 5 of these. So I opened up these 5, and of course one of them, right, is the same one that we already identified as the one we found when we were doing our searching. So this one is the first result that comes up. We scroll down and we see that this has a BSR of 1,610, which is excellent because it meets our criteria of being between 1 and 5,000. Let's take a look at the second one. This is, of course, the same product that we found earlier, so we know that it is between 1 and 5,000. It's at around 4,900, so that's good. And now we go to the third search result. Again, scroll down to product details and we see that the BSR is 2,500, which is perfect. Again, it's right between 1 and 5,000, which is what we're looking for. So now the first 3 search results have already met our criteria, and again, we're only looking for at least 3 of the top 5. We got lucky in this case that the first 3 results actually meet that criteria, but we can still look at the 4th and 5th to see, whether or not they also meet the criteria or not. This one is just above 5,000. It's actually closer to 6,000, which is okay. And we scroll down on this fifth search result and we see that it's 730. Okay, so again, the point is that we need to find at least 3 of these top 5 that actually meet the criteria of having a BSR between 1 and 5,000. We've already found 3 of the top 5. The first 3 were actually the ones that met the criteria. The fourth one is a little bit over 5,000. The fifth one is a little bit under 1,000. Okay, but that's okay because at least 3 of them did meet that criteria. So that's the 3-step process on how to implement this first component of demand, which again is the first and the most important primary criteria on how to find hot selling product opportunities on Amazon. So to review that 3-step process very quickly, the implementation of the first component of demand. Step 1, find a product that has a BSR between 1,000 and 5,000. And we showed how to go about doing that, how to find that. Again, we went to the best sellers and then we went into the subcategories under the main categories, and then we just looked and clicked into certain products and saw if the BSR was, it met our criteria or not. Step 2, determine the product's main keyword and search that keyword on Amazon. And finally, see if the BSR of at least 3 of the top 5 other products from the main keyword search is also between 1,000 and 5,000. Okay, now let's jump into the second component under demand, and that is searching. Okay, and that refers to the keyword search traffic, or the amount of the number of searches for a specific keyword on Amazon. And we can actually use a tool known as merchant words to see how much search volume there is for a specific keyword or keyword phrase. So let's jump into merchant words and see how that works. Okay, so what you're going to do is go to www.merchantwords.com and you should see this screen. Now what you can do is log in to the account. So you, as a student of Ecom Entrepreneurs Academy, should have received your 1 year of free access to Merchant Words, and you can use that to log in to your account. So let's go ahead and log in using those login details. Okay, once you're logged in, what you want to do is find the main keyword. So the same main keyword that you searched when you were looking at how well a product is selling and you looked at the BSR, that same keyword search we're going to take and we're going to paste it into merchant words. So again, if you don't remember, we're just going to scroll up here, and what we searched is salt grinder. So we're going to copy that same keyword phrase, we're going to go back to merchant words, and we are going to search it. And you'll notice that it's not sorted right now. It's showing you some low volume keywords. So what you want to do is make sure to sort this chart or these results by highest search volume. Okay, so now you can see the keywords that have the highest average monthly search volume on Amazon.com. So you see number 1 here is salt and pepper grinder set. It has over 1 million searches a month. And then you see salt grinder, which is the phrase that we searched, and that's 43,500. What's interesting here is that our keyword that we searched is not the top one. There's another one that is much more than that, which is salt and pepper grinder set. The thing is that sometimes you may experience this where there's another keyword search related to the keyword search that you entered that has more search traffic or search volume, and that's okay. What you want to see is whether or not this keyword search is related or close enough to this keyword search. Okay, if it is, then you may want to redo your search on Amazon to this and kind of redo the steps that we looked at for BSR in step 1, which was selling, which was the first component of demand. Okay, generally the keyword that you search should be the top one. If not, then like I said, take a look at this keyword, search it on Amazon, and see the results that come up. Okay, because of course if there's more search volume, then that's good. And if that keyword search, when we do it on Amazon, if we still find at least 3 of the top 5 products meeting the criteria of between 1 and 5,000 BSR, then why not go with that one? Okay, but in my opinion, this one is salt grinder, while as this one is salt and pepper grinder set. Salt grinder, of course, is just the salt grinder by itself, not with the pepper grinder. And so this is okay as well. Okay, because there are some people that may only want a salt grinder. That's why they're searching for only salt grinder, whereas this search is referring to people who want both, which obviously there are a lot more people. So like I said, what I would do in this case is take salt and pepper grinder set, go back to Amazon.com, search it, and see if the top five, at least three of the top five search results meet our BSR criteria of between 1 and 5,000. If not, then don't consider this. Just stick with this. But if at least three of the top five do meet the criteria of BSR between 1 and 5,000, then go ahead and make this your new keyword that you're going to be focusing on instead of this one. So that's how you use merchant words. It's a very simple process. You log in, you search for the keyword, you sort by highest search volume, and then you see and you evaluate the results that come up. So that was how we use merchantwords.com to determine and to see how much search traffic there is for a specific keyword on Amazon.com. Just to quickly recap what we just did, step 1, we logged into merchantwords.com. Step 2, we searched for the keyword, right, that we're interested in, that we found that met that first criteria of having a BSR of between 1 and 5,000. And step 3, we sorted by the highest search volume, okay, to see obviously the best performing keywords and whether or not the keyword that we currently have is the one we should stick with, or if there's another keyword that's related to our keyword that has more search volume. And again, as I mentioned, if that is the case, then go ahead and search that keyword or keyword phrase on Amazon. Go through the the steps of seeing if at least three of the top five products have BSR of between 1 and 5,000. If yes, go with that keyword. If not, then stick with your current keyword, even if it has lower search traffic, according to merchantwords.com. So we've gone through searching and how to identify the keyword search traffic on merchantwords.com. We went through the implementation of it, and now the question is, what is a good number of average monthly searches? And honestly, it depends on the level of competition. Okay, there's been cases where I've seen products or keywords or keyword phrases that only have 11,000 searches according to merchant words, but those markets have very low competition, and because there's very little competition, there are 20 to 40 sales a day. So the demand for those products is lower, right? Meaning that they probably will have lower BSRs as well. But what that means is that there's lower competition, and it allows you to dominate the market with those strategies, that you're going to be learning in this course. And I've actually seen people get up to 20 to 40 sales a day with even just that small number of searches according to merchant words. I've also seen cases where there's a lot of search traffic according to merchant words, 500,000, a million searches for a product or for that keyword. But the thing is that the BSRs are much higher and there's a lot higher competition. Okay, so there's a lot higher competition, and because there's so much competition, you're not able to gain a lot of traction and move a lot of products and get a lot of sales. Okay, so again, when you're discussing and when you're thinking about, well, is this a good number or not according to merchant words, it's all relative. You can't look at that number individually and determine whether or not it's quote unquote good or quote unquote bad. You have to compare it and you have to take it as complete along with the other criteria that you're going to look at. So again, just to further this point a little bit more, there are two approaches. One is that you go into a category or into a market that has very high little competition and you grab some of the tremendous volume of sales in that market. Okay, and the second approach is that you go into a market that has low competition, but you are able to dominate that market and you're grabbing most of the decent sales volume in that market. Okay, and I prefer the second approach, in which there is low competition, okay, but you can dominate the market. So even if the search traffic is lower, it's a lot easier to compete and grab most of those sales using the strategies that we'll be learning. And that contributes, and that's the reason that the BSR criteria is between 1 and 5,000. Okay, because we're looking for lower competition niches and markets that we can easily dominate and we can grab most of the sales, even if they're not as high, in sales as some other categories on Amazon that have lower BSRs between, let's say, 1 and 1,000. Now we look at the third component. So the first two components under demand, which is the number one criteria, is buying, okay, and searching. So we looked at both of those, and now we're going to look at the final one, and that is trending. How do we look at the trends of a product on Amazon.com? We use a website, or we use a resource known as camel.com. Let's jump into this software very briefly, and we can see the capability that it has and how it allows us to see the trends of a specific product over a period of time. Okay, so go to camel.com, and I know that's a very weird and unique name, but they did their job, because you're never going to forget that ever again in your life. But anyway, what we do here on the top search bar, we can enter the Amazon URL or a keyword to find a product. So the easiest way to do this is to go back to the product that we initially found. Let's say it was this salt grinder. We're going to copy this URL, and we're going to go back to camel.com, and we're going to paste it here in the search bar, and we're going to click enter. And we see that this product comes up. And now let's take a look at the powerful capability of this tool, camel.com. If you scroll down, you'll notice that you can see certain tabs here. We can see the price history of this product, which can be very valuable. And more importantly, we can see the sales rank of this product. And this is very valuable in terms of seeing how this product is trending. And this actually gives us data for about a year or so. So this is showing us basically data from, this is actually showing us many years of data. So generally you'll see data for maybe the last year or so. This product is actually, has data from, almost 2010, as you can see right here, all the way until 2015. So let's take a look at, how this kind of is trending. It seems like it's pretty, consistent, throughout. It's not really taking a deep plunge anywhere. There are certain points where it does, but it doesn't seem like that necessarily correlates with any specific time of year. Generally, it seems like it's staying between the around 2 to 6,000 BSR range. If you were to draw a line of correlation here, or the trend line, that's probably, so it's staying consistent, okay? So basically, it doesn't necessarily matter where the numbers are necessarily, because we already determined that the BSR meets our criteria. But what we're more looking at is, okay, well, if this product, for example, started here and it went up, right? Or if it started here and it went down, then we can see that, okay, well, either this is getting better or it's getting worse. So this is more steady. So it's not an upward or downward trend, it's more steady, which is a good thing, okay? Now, what's interesting about camel.com is that it was meant for buyers, Amazon buyers. So what you can do is you can actually enter your price that you desire for this product, okay? And if you enter your email here and click on start tracking, Camel will actually send you a notification via email when the product price goes down to your desired price. So if I entered $19.99 here, and the current price is $24.99, and I put my email in, if the product price goes down to $19.99 at any point, then I'll get that notification. Okay, so this tool was actually created for buyers, but we as sellers can take huge advantage of this, mainly with, again, this sales rank tracking tool, which shows us the trends. Okay, this is the main kind of feature of camel.com that we want to use. You can also take a look at the price history and kind of see, how the price of this product has changed over time. That can give you an idea, of, if you're comparing the sales rank and the price history charts, kind of see, well, how was the sales rank affected, by the price changes. Again, you can take a look at all of that, but if the most simplistic thing to do here is to simply scroll down, click on the sales rank tab, and just see if it's trending upward, downward, or it's staying consistent. Of course, if it's consistent or if it's upward, that's a good thing, okay? But if it's downward, that's a bad thing, okay? Because that means that the product is getting worse, even if it's at, let's say, 5,000 BSR or 4,000 BSR right now, which does meet our criteria. But if it used to be, for example, at like 500 and now it's at 4,000, that probably means it's going to continue to get lower if that's been the trend over a period of several months or years. Okay, so that's kind of the main purpose of this. Now let's jump back into the presentation. Okay, so that was camel.com, and that's how we determined how a product is trending. And again, just to recap the implementation, step 1, we entered the Amazon URL or product keyword in the search bar. Step 2, we checked the sales rank or the BSR history. And finally, we checked the price history. So under demand, again, which is the most important criteria, we looked at 3 components. We looked at selling, we looked at searching, and we looked at trending. For selling, we mainly look at the BSR, and then we again follow those steps to see if 3 of the top 5 search results actually meet that BSR of 1,000, between 1,000 and 5,000. Number 2, we look at merchantwords.com to determine how many people are searching for a product. And number 3, we look at camel.com to see whether or not a product is trending upward, downward, or if it's staying consistent.